This is KGW News at noon.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Brenda Braxton, and we start off this noon with breaking news. There was an explosion and a small fire at a building on Northeast 148th Avenue and Mason in Portland this morning. It happened around 10 o'clock, and the fire was quickly put out. We're also being told no one was hurt. This explosion happened at some sort of warehouse and involved a heavy piece of machinery. The machine, which was being used to process grain, exploded. According to Portland Fire and Rescue, the explosion was inside the machine. The cause of that blast remains under investigation. Now moving on to Washougal, where rising rent could put people out on the street. Tenants at one apartment complex are facing a 40% increase. Catherine Cook met with residents who say they're running out of time and options.
At Rockwood Terrace Apartments in Washougal.
As you can see, we've got kids.
Just about everyone here
I haven't bought food for myself in months.
Is on a very tight budget.
I'm disabled and I'm on Social Security.
And there's no place for any of us to go if we have to leave here because we can't make rent.
Suri Adams says not making rent became a real fear on Friday for her and several other tenants. That's when they got this, an offer to sign a fixed year-long lease with a nearly $400 a month rent increase, bringing it to $1,365.
This is a major hike, and for an apartment complex that's nothing but retired, elderly, disabled, and low income.
Management gave tenants just 1 week to sign the lease, though the rent increase won't kick in until December. Many tenants, like Kathy Marshall, feel pressured given the risk of renting month to month.
If I don't do that, I'm going to be maybe looking at more.
If we don't sign a lease, they can up it again every month if they feel like it.
On top of the rent hike, Rockwood Terrace Apartments also imposes income restrictions. For example, one person renting an apartment can't make more than $38,940 a year.
It doesn't make sense how they say it's low income and then they cut an arm and a leg off and say, hey, you know, that's what you gotta do.
This nearly 40% rent hike is legal in Washington, which has no rent control. In Oregon, rent hikes are capped at just under 10%. That will rise to 14.6% in January. Back in June, the Vancouver Housing Authority told KGW since Washington lifted its eviction moratorium this year, many property owners in Clark County have increased rent by about 15%. They're also seeing a rise in evictions.
We have nowhere to turn. There's nowhere to go.
We wanted to ask the owners about the rent hike. The Rockwood Terrace rental office was closed and no one answered our calls. According to public records, the owner is Post Rockwood LP, and its address appears to be a postal center in West Hollywood, California. It all makes tenants feel unwelcome in their own home.
I'm really fearful right now. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Catherine Cook, KGW News.
In a push to get a handle on gun violence in Portland's Old Town, the mayor announced plans to beef up policing. Mike Benner explains how a new team of officers could be on the streets again as soon as tomorrow night.
The Dixie Tavern sits at the corner of Northwest 3rd and Cooch. Co-owner Dan Lenzen says operating a business in Portland's Old Town has its perks.
It's a great pioneering place. It's a place where we have an opportunity to be able to build something.
If anything bugs Lenzen, it's the crime in the neighborhood. In fact, since September of last year, there's been an average of 4.5 shootings a month in the area. And since the start of 2022, 7 people have been killed in shootings, stabbings, or assaults.
Oftentimes that happens under the cover of dark.
And it hasn't gone unnoticed. At a press conference Tuesday morning, Mayor Ted Wheeler revealed plans to make the neighborhood safer. It all starts with a new team of 6 police officers and 1 sergeant who will focus solely on nightlife in Old Town.
Recent data shows us that Old Town suffers from a high level of gun violence, and this violence often peaks during Friday and Saturday evenings.
The mayor says his safety plans also include extra lighting in the neighborhood and street closures. This map here shows you the specific area that'll be closed to traffic on weekend nights. Community Safety Transition Director Mike Myers.
We are in this together. We are in this together as neighbors. We're in this together as operators. This is a team approach.
It's an approach very much appreciated by Dixie Tavern co-owner Dan Lenzen.
Oh yeah, we live, eat, play in downtown. This is our home.
Lenzen is hoping the new safety measures entice more people to come out and enjoy the nightlife in Old Town.
We're here. There's thousands of people out already, and the more we get, the lower the crime goes.
I'm Mike Benner for KGW News.
Almost 2 years ago, Oregon voters approved Measure 110. It's a bill that freed up millions to pay for addiction services. Now, every county in the state is finally getting that cash. Measure 110 was designed to decriminalize the possession of small amounts of hard drugs and use tax dollars from cannabis sales for treatment. It's faced a lot of criticism for not getting that money out sooner. An audit back in June found the state had only sent a fraction of the funding to treatment centers. Now that the rest is going out, Steve Allen with the Oregon Health Authority calls it a turning point.
These service networks now exist in every Oregon county. They offer a comprehensive array of community-based, culturally specific services for people seeking treatment for drug use and substance use disorders.
The money will pay for several things, including treatment and housing support. But critics of Measure 110 still argue decriminalization has led to more drugs on our streets. Some new information today about the Hillsborough company that helped transport migrants from Texas to Martha's Vineyard. Records show Florida has paid another $950,000 to Virtual Systems. That's in addition to the $615,000 that the company already received. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis hasn't said if the new payment is for more flights. In the meantime, one Texas sheriff has opened a criminal investigation into what DeSantis did. NBC's Alice Barr has more from Washington.
With the political battle over immigration heating up, a criminal investigation is the latest twist. A Texas sheriff opening a probe into 2 planes full of migrants flown to Martha's Vineyard last week. Now some of those migrants filing suit against Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who claimed credit for sending them. Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar believes the nearly 50 migrants were lured under false pretenses.
Somebody came from out of state, preyed upon these people, lured them with promises of a better life.
Sheriff Salazar alleging a Venezuelan migrant was paid to recruit the migrants from around a San Antonio resource center.
For little more than a photo op, video op, and then they were unceremoniously stranded.
Governor DeSantis pushing back.
The state of Florida, it was volunteer, offered transport to sanctuary jurisdictions because it's our view that, one, the border should be secured.
DeSantis, who could be a presidential contender in 2024, escalating a tactic used by fellow Republican governors of Texas and Arizona, busing migrants to northern cities. GOP leaders looking to make immigration a key issue in the midterm elections as arrests along the southern border exceeded 2 million in a year for the first time. President Biden stressing that fewer migrants are coming from Mexico and Guatemala amid a new surge of people fleeing authoritarian regimes in Venezuela, Cuba, and Nicaragua.
And the ability to send them back to those states is not rational.
The president says the U.S. is working with Mexico and other countries to try and stop the flow. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Let's head back to the Weather Center. Rob, the sun's out, but some places started the day with a touch of rain.
Yeah, we actually had a shower that moved over Gresham near downtown Portland, fizzled out over Beaverton. Had a heavier shower that moved just north of Salem. And right now the radar is still showing upper level low that's kind of moving up over into south central portions of our state. And you can see the rotation around the low, bringing showers up to the north and then bending them back to the east. There is a decent batch of light rain extending from Mount Jefferson off the east flank of Mount Hood and then up toward the Dalles. Right now, nothing in the valley between Vancouver, Portland, and Salem. Here's a live camera from the Dalles, so we'll get real eyes on the situation. Notice you can see the top of Mount Hood. So that tells you the cloud deck is still fairly high. Any precipitation there would be probably borderline sprinkles set in the coming hour anyway. 72 is the number there. You go out to the coast, here's our Chinook Casino, our Chinook Winds Casino Resort camera, pardon me. Have to get the title out. 62 is the temperature there in Lincoln City. Partly sunny skies over Vancouver from Pearson Airfield. And our temperature in Portland, 69. I think mainly dry this afternoon. We'll heighten a chance of a scattered shower starting this evening with temperatures at 8 o'clock around 74. My apologies to the fine people in Lincoln City. I couldn't get your location out.
It's a mouthful, though. Don't blame you one bit. Thank you, Rod.